Comedian so funny, audience laugh to death. Oh my God, there's a Chinese woman telling jokes how to white people. Those people who do that, we castrate them. Oh, you're so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are not getting in my panties. So I'm Moni. I come from China. That means back home, I have a panda, right? That's what our government does. They give everyone a free panda as long as we finish our tax return on time. But of course, I'm joking. Back home, there's nothing being returned. They just take it all. I do have a panda at home though. It's a dog with this name. The reason I gave him this name is to really confuse his identity. Because growing up in China, my family and the society, they brainwashed me, they conditioned me, they made me believe that I identify as accountant. So I just really want to give the same experience to my dog. Another reason why Panda's name is Panda is because having a dog and being Chinese is really not a great life choice. Every time when I walk Panda in the park, there always someone come to me. They were like, oh my God, is that your dinner? I'm like, no, you, that's for lunch. Who the dogs for dinner? It's bad for digestion. People always say Chinese people eat dogs, they eat dogs. But do Chinese people eat dogs? Do we eat dogs? Yes, we do. Some of us, right? China is a big place. We have 1.4 billion people. When a place is that big, statistically, you can always find some perverts. For example, Europe is such a nice place. People here are friendly, kind, educated, civilized. But if we look at Finland, in this country, it's legal to animals. So all I'm saying is, it's probably okay to say there are some European people enjoy making love with horse. But would it be fair? Would it be fair to say, you horse? Yes, it's fair. He's grabbing his phone. He's like, how to move to Finland? So folks, are we on the same page? Points taken? Great. You see, Panda is a black and a white dog. That's why I gave him this name. But the other day, a German colleague, she came to me. She said, Moni, you shouldn't call him Panda. He doesn't even have the black eyes. I was like, okay, you name Nazi. So now every day when I wake up, I have to punch him into the eyes. It's so much unpaid woman work. Life is hard. Life is hard to be a Chinese person in the West. Because people here, they always ask me stupid questions. Like every time when I met a West person, they always ask me, oh my God, you are from China? Which Chinese city are you from? I'm like, why do you care? When we met last week, you thought I was Jackie Chan. Does this make any difference for you? Folks, I come from a big, crowded Chinese city. We have 12 million citizens. That's more than 3 times the whole population of Berlin. It's super big, it's gigantic. But I bet none of you has ever heard about my city. Until February 2020. So in case you haven't heard the news in the last 3 years, or you haven't read the title of the show, yes, I come from Wuhan, okay? You should watch the show 2 years ago. No one clapped for me. And stop looking at me like this. Yes, I come from Wuhan. Yes, I know some inside information about coronavirus, okay? Yes, I do. In fact, one thing I know for sure is that the virus definitely originated in the middle of Italy. You see, I love my country, I love my party. I believe they did nothing wrong during the pandemic. I would never say anything wrong about them. Nothing would ever change my mind, except for European passport. For the Chinese-looking audience here, this is a joke. That's how jokes work. I say things not because it's true, but because it's funny, okay? Please don't tear the party. I would never change my mind for European passport, but for good European passport. So no British ones. This joke kills in Scotland. Oh my God. You know, Wuhan is actually really famous for its food. But surprise! Nothing to do with bats. You're like, wow, how is that possible? How is that possible? Folks, do we still remember the horse analogy? Are we still on the same page? Are we? You don't look very convinced. Okay, where are you from?
England.
Okay, so between you and me, we both know there are some English men are alcoholic and beat their wives. Would I say you beat her?
No. I'm from Cornwall, though. It's a different country.
Okay.
In England.
Okay. I think you beat her. Wuhan is actually really famous for its food. Wuhan is the breakfast capital in China. In Wuhan, no one eats breakfast at home. We all go to breakfast shops on the streets and downtown. Around every corner, you can find at least thousands of them. They all offer wildly different stuff. And every morning, you can order a different breakfast food. For months, without repetition, the choice is countless. And I know, the German folks are thinking, oh, German breakfast is also countless. We have muesli. We have muesli with chocolate. Muesli with white chocolate. Muesli with apple. Muesli with strawberry. Muesli with raisin. Then you can eat it with milk, half milk, like soya milk, half a milk, yogurt, like goat yogurt, vegan yogurt. Then the combination is also countless. I'm like, shut up, Schmidt. In China, we don't call stuff you dump out of a box. We don't call that food, okay? We call it dog food. I'm sorry. It's too offensive. I'm joking. I'm so sorry. Dogs don't eat that. And in Wuhan, the most famous, popular, and natural breakfast food is called the Gan Mian. By the end of the evening, if you can only remember one thing, I hope it's 热干面, so you're cultured, you know the keyword. So let's practice, okay? I say 热干面, 热干面, 热干面. Great! Now you all know this keyword, you know this magic word. Next time when you meet a Wuhanese person, you go to them, you look into their eyes, you say, yeah! They would say, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Then you can build a beautiful relationship upon that, right? I know by this time you're wondering, what is 热干面? So the direct English translation is hot, dry noodles. Yes, it's noodles that are very hot, extremely spicy, and very dry. Actually, the drier the better. That's definitely not what he said. What's wrong with you people? Who the dry noodles? That doesn't sound tasty at all. What's wrong with you people? Folks, you need to understand. The drier the noodles are, the better they are at grabbing all those secret ingredients and spicy sauces onto the noodles. That's more intense the flavors are. And eating noodles is all about timing. As soon as the noodles are served, you only have a 10 minutes time window to consume it. After that, all is lost. In Wuhan, no one eats leftover 热干面. Those people who do that, we castrate them. That's how it works. Because as soon as the noodles getting old, the texture will change. But that's the best part. You know, they use these special noodles made with wheat flour and alkaline. Oh my God, the alkaline, they make the noodles so chewy, so rubbery, so slippery. It tastes just like freshly used condoms. But in a good way. In a good way. Oh, it tastes so good. You should try it out. And there's a secret ingredient in 热干面. It's the soul of 热干面. You cannot have 热干面 without it. It's what makes 热干面 热干面. And that secret ingredient is toasted sesame sauce. Oh my God, the toasted sesame sauce, they are so nutty, so earthy, and they can so many white people. You know, once the World War III starts, if I'm elected the president of China, my plan is just to shoot 热干面 onto white people. A bunch of them would die from the nut allergy. Another bunch of them would die from the gluten. And the rest of them would have a heart attack as soon as they heard the word, vegan food! Yeah, that's my plan, how to kill white people. But the white folks here, you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be living in fear. Because back there, no one can vote. You know, only Chinese people know how much risk I'm taking on that joke, okay? They're like, oh my God, this doesn't want to live. I will check your phones on your way out. This Asian table. Oh my God. You know, once I told this joke in London, and that evening in the crowd, we have 4 black audience. After I told that joke, the 4 black people, they were like shaking, they were laughing so much, they are almost on the floor, like peeing themselves. I was like, what the Like they are just like shaking uncontrollably. I was like, what the are you going to die? Please do. So I can get on the news. Comedians so funny, audience laugh to death. That's good publicity. But they didn't die, unfortunately. And the next day I went back to do the same show, and that night I had 100% black audience. So I guess they just went home, running into the community in the neighborhood, shouting, oh my God, there's a Chinese woman telling jokes how to white people. Oh, go to see her. Oh, go to see her. Maybe I think that's what unites blacks and the Asians. The hatred towards white people. And chicken wings. I know, by this time, some of you are thinking, what the I come to a comedy show? What the all these noodle talks? You need to understand, like, you cannot really get to know Wuhan nor Wuhanese people without getting to know our noodles. We are noodle folks. That's part of who we are. That's how we live. But when I was doing this show in Scotland, once there's a Scottish gentleman sitting at the back of the room. He looked at me, his face looked like this. I'm like, what went wrong? He said, I hate noodles. I was like, really? But I still got 30 minutes more noodle material. How are we going to survive that? Then suddenly I had this idea. I said, okay, how about from now on, every time when I mention noodles or Gan Mian in your brain, just replace it with alcohol. Immediately his face brightened. He enjoyed the rest of the show. So folks, in case you are from a fuck up nation with no appreciation towards good food, aka Germans and British, then in your brain, just every time when I say the noodles, just replace it with alcohol, with vodka, beer, weed, whatever drugs of your choice, okay? Because Gan Mian is our drugs. And I, like a real noodle junkie like me, we would eat Gan Mian for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for our second dinner, then for our third dinner. Then we sleep 4 hours and the cycle begins again. Truly like alcohol for Scottish people. And by this time, you get to know the city a little bit. It's a big, crowded, noodle-addicted Chinese city. And the story is about to begin. It's the year of 2001. It's a beautiful, bright, warm spring afternoon. In a classroom at a local, exclusive primary school, an 11-year-old girl has just snapped back into reality. There's a rusty taste in her throat. Her lips are bleeding. Her hands are numb. Just a few minutes ago, a schoolboy has just choked her until she lost her consciousness. While she's passing out, she's hoping, she's wishing when she wakes up, she would wake up from this nightmare. But no. She's still lying in the middle of the classroom. Finally, eventually the teacher arrived, but she decides to not intervene because the bully's dad is her supervisor. That 11-year-old girl was me. It's the first time in my life I have ever experienced such excruciating pain. I wish I could also say it's the last time. A few hours later, I'm sitting at home next to the window. I'm trying to explain to my mom what has happened. I'm begging her to help me. She has to help me. She must help me. She's the only parent I got. Who else would protect me? Fear, shame, anger, the emotions are overtaking me. My eyes are blurry. My tongue stopped working. I can't breathe. The next thing I remember I heard, why? Why the bully only beat you, not anyone else? Why you always make trouble? That moment, I feel I'm in this world all alone. No one loves me. No one cares about me. No one will protect me. I look out the window, I feel caged, I want to jump. But no, I won't. I didn't. We live on the ground floor. Later that evening, I'm in the room alone. I walked towards my mom's dresser. I opened the second drawer from the top. That's where she always hides her wallet. I grabbed the wallet. I stole a few coins. I sneak out of the home. It's already the evening time, but I know a place where I can get what I want. It's only 2 blocks away. I start to run and run. Even before I reach there, I start to shout, "1 Gan Mian, please. Make it extra dry." A few minutes later, I got my noodles in my hands. Then I heard a voice talking to me. She said, "Stop crying, you silly girl. You don't want your noodles getting wet. Or do you?" "No." So I eat and eat and eat many portions of real Gan Mian. Later, I found myself squatting down next to a dumpster, vomiting. Puke and tears covered all my face. I looked down into the gutter at my own vomit. Then I thought, those noodles are amazing. Life is great. You know, I wish I could say I hate my mom. I wish I could say that. But I can't. It's the year of 1993. I'm 3 years old. I'm hiding in the corner of the room. I hear people running in and out, clashes of pans and pots, men and women shouting at each other. Then someone grabs me, and I'm crying in a shaky car. That's the day my parents got divorced. My mom, she hired a van and a few friends to storm the home so Dad wouldn't have enough time to hide me anywhere else. Mom, she even prepared a speech on a paper, hoping she can convince Dad it's better for a little girl to grow up with the mother. Even with the full mental preparation, my mom was shocked. As soon as the group arrived, Dad totally panicked. He started running all over the flat, protecting his most beloved treasures. The rice cooker and the sewing machine. In the next 15 years, he came to visit me once. We lived 4 kilometers away. After the divorce, my mom's own father stopped talking with her for years because she feared her only responsibility in life as a woman. She can't even keep a man. She feared her marriage. She brought shame into the family. But make no mistake, my grandpa is the most loving and kind grandpa I ever know. He dedicated all he has to raise all his grandchildren. But according to him, a grandchild is only a grandchild if they have a I didn't have a I still don't have a I have a very large collection of dildos though. Last time, I sent him a picture of my collection. He said, "No, those don't count." So no, I'm still not part of his family. Growing up, during my whole childhood, I only remember him talk with me once. He said to me, "Moni, you talk so much. You talk so loud. No man will ever want to marry you." I'm like, "Grandpa, I'm only 5 years old. Why are you telling me this? I wouldn't be getting married for at least another 5 more years. What's wrong with you?" After the divorce, my mom and I, we live in the ghetto. Outside our window is a pile of construction garbages covered with dead cats. On my way to school, there were at least 20 hair salons with red lights on. In the neighborhood, a woman is considered widely successful if she's neither a hooker nor a dealer. Oh, damn, girl, you found that job at the call center? Damn, look at you, you made it. So that's where I come from the ghetto. Raising a female child alone in the ghetto is difficult enough. But my mom, she's also a person with disabilities. She came into the world as a perfect baby, but polio made her limp on one leg. When she was a toddler, once her own mother almost put her onto a train track, trying to end her life because there's no hope for handicapped girl in that society. At least not from families like ours. Growing up, my mom, she was the top student. She's smart, she's intelligent, she's brilliant, she's the top dog. That's her pride. But she got rejected by the universities because of her disabilities. While all her schoolmates ended up become managers or officers, she ended up running a sweatshop. In a 3-room apartment, she was working and living with 30 girls and women. Now looking back, I realized 30 girls and women in a sweatshop is such a great premise for a movie. I wish I come up with the idea back then. And in the sweatshop, it's hard working too. During the peak season, my mom, she would work 18 hours per day, every day for months without any break. Our home is the back room of that sweatshop. It's our bedroom, it's our living room, it's our dining room, it's her office, and it's my study. Every night, on the bright neon light, I would sit in front of the table writing my homework. For most of the nights, my mom, she would come into the room to talk with me during her 2 minutes work break. She would tell me that she will work as hard as she can, as long as I study as hard as I can, because she wants to give me the best education possible so I can rewrite my fate. Indeed, she worked hard. She put food onto the table. She sent me to the best schools in the city, eventually financed me to get 2 degrees from top business schools in Europe. Against all the odds, she gave me this good life she could never dream of for herself. And now look at me. I'm telling jokes for a living, okay? I wish I could say I love my mom. It's my 13 years birthday. It's a Saturday. It's already dark outside, but I'm still inside of a room writing my homework. Flies are all around the bright neon light above me. I'm so bored, I can't concentrate. I stare outside of the window, look at the dead cat mountain. I can't focus, it's my birthday, I just want to watch my favorite cartoon. So I turned on the TV. All of a sudden, my face is burning on fire. What the f***? I work like a dog and you are slacking on your homework? If you ever dare to do that again, I'm going to beat you until you die. Later that night, I'm sitting in the room alone, crying. On the other side of the table, there are a few apples. Lying next to the apples is a peeling knife. The knife, it looks at me, it asks me questions. It asks me, what's the point of living if all you could feel is pain? Good question. I guess there's no point then. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to feel this pain. paying anymore. I look at the knife, I reach out my hand, I grab the knife, I slash it in my left wrist. The knife is made in China. So it didn't work. I wish I made it up. 2 years later, I got an opportunity to study at the best high school in the district with a full scholarship. My mom, she's so happy. I never saw her so happy. She took me out for dinner, sitting in the middle of a busy restaurant. She put her hand onto my shoulder. She said to me, Moni, it's very important for you to have good grades. That's your only way out in this life. Because look at you. You talk so much. You are from a broken home. Your mom is handicapped. No good guys would pick you. Don't even have that hope. Marrying rich is not a choice for you. Your only chance in life is to get good education and find a good job. That's your only chance. Then she added, she said, not to mention, you are not pretty. Unlike me, you are not pretty. You are short and fat, just like your father. I can cover half of my face. I'm still prettier than you. I'm like, seriously? 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 You are shorter than me. And you are 95 kilograms. You can't even see your toes. You look pregnant all the time. Yes, but I got fat after marriage. Try to find a husband first. The asshole. When I'm 21 years old, this year I got an opportunity to study in the Netherlands. I'm about to be the first person in my family to get into university, to step my foot outside of China, to board an airplane. I'm about to be the first person in my entire family to get educated. Everyone in my family, everyone is against it. Except my mom. Because what's the point of spending so much money on her education? She's just a woman. She's just a girl. She's just a girl. So no, I didn't get the blessing from the family. No goodbye parties. Not a hug. Not even a phone call. But I didn't care. Finally, I'm free. Finally, I can live. I'm going to be living in Europe, have an amazing and fantastic life. Eventually, I will meet the perfect guy. Then we'll be happy ever after. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I can't wait. Little did I know. It's just the beginning of many years of struggling. Language barriers. Cultural difference, financial stress, visa issues, and isolation. And on top of that is the constant pain caused by the most horrible Dutch food. You see, I come from Wuhan, the breakfast capital in China. Then suddenly I'm in Holland. My flatmates are eating cereal for dinner. And you know what's the worst part? They were not even poor. They had money, they had choice. And they chose to eat bad food. You know their food is horrible. That when I decided to move to Germany, when I I decided to move to Germany, all my Dutch friends are saying, oh my God, Moni, congratulations. You are about to move to the land of good food. Germany, the land of good food. But of course, I'm joking. I don't have Dutch friends. When I was in Holland, I was so deprived of good food. I was craving so much, but I couldn't get any. And after a while, I started to have dreams about good food. I started to dream about food. And one night, I remember I had a dream that I had sex with a Peking duck. And that's the most delicious sex I ever had. But I survived that in 2017. Finally, I got my 2 degrees. I got an offer to work in a tech company in Berlin, and I moved to the land of good Vietnamese food. And like everyone else in this city, I work for Zalando. It's the first time in my life I'm finally financially independent, no more visa issues. I have a beautiful flat. This time all I need is to meet the right person, then we can be happy ever after. And this time magic happened. I met Mark. Mark, he's handsome, he's funny, he's handsome. Mark, he takes me to nice restaurants and cool parties. And the best of all, Mark, he has a German passport. You know, the first time after we had sex, Mark, he looked into my eyes, he said to me, Moni, you are so beautiful. Me? You think me is beautiful? Let me eat me more. Give me that German privilege. Come in my mouth. Make German babies with me. Mark still got his He likes it. He's a very kinky guy, okay? And 3 months into the relationship, Mark said he wants to move the relationship onto the next level. He wants us to find a safe word. I'm like, safe word? What is a safe word? So he explained to me, he told me a safe word is a word normally I would never say when I'm having fun. So if I say it during sex, then he knows for sure that he has to stop whatever he's doing to keep me safe. I was like, a word I would never say when I'm having fun? So I search and search and search. Eventually I decided my safe word would be Dutch food. 6 months into the relationship, Mark is cooking soup in my kitchen. The aroma and steam are all around us. Under the soft kitchen light, Mark, he just looks so damn handsome. I stare at him. Suddenly, I just lost it. I just said it to him. I just heard myself say it. It just came out of my mouth. I said it to me. I said, Mark, I love you. I'm so excited. I'm anxious. I look at him. He looks back at me. Finally, he opened his mouth. He said back to me, he realized he forgot something really important to do at work. That he has to leave immediately. And he might call me tomorrow. I never heard from him again. I'm heartbroken. I'm destroyed because obviously the only reasonable and logic explanation is that night on his way home, Mark, he died. He died from a horrible car accident. The accident was so severe, immediately his head jumped out from his body, rolled over to the other side of the road. The homeless guy found it and kicked it. Before a goat found it and face it. Then it ejaculated so much, pushed the head directly into the river. And the dolphin ate it. That's the only logic and the reasonable explanation. Right? 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 After Mark died, I was heartbroken. Because why it's so hard to find a partner? I need to find this person to begin my new life with. I need to increase my chance. So I decided I'm going to double my chance by start to lick pussy. Ladies, I lick pussy better than men. Because it's not hard to be better than men. You just need to lick it, like your visa depends on it, okay? So 2 months after Mark died, I'm on Bumble. A beautiful, a gorgeous woman, she wrote to me first. She approached me first. She said, I look interesting. She wants to get to know me. Immediately we start flirting. The chemistry is so strong. Like we found ourselves on our very first date the next morning. And as soon as we met, as soon as we saw each other, I just feel she knows who I am. She knows who I am. She knows so much about me. We had so much to talk. We talk over brunch. We talk over dinner. After many hours of talking, by the end of the evening, she said to me, Moni, I actually know so much about you. I know who you are. But I have to tell you, I'm married. I'm in an open marriage. I'm married to Mark. How? How did this happen? How is it possible? How could I miss all the red flags? How could I not see any of the warning signs? How did I let this happen to me? The answer is easy. The answer is simple. I saw what I wanted to see. I wanted to be loved. I wanted him to love me. So I created this perfect boyfriend character, then projected it onto the man who I'm sleeping with, although he's a complete asshole. I wish he loves me. But no, he doesn't. He didn't. No one does. I completely collapsed. Days and nights start to blend in together. Getting out of the bed becomes the most difficult thing in the world. Every day, all I'm doing is crying. And every time when I pass the mirror, all I'm seeing is this woman. She's ugly. She's stupid. She's insecure. No one loves her. No one will. My mom, she keeps calling me. She asks me, why is it so hard? Everyone else is getting married. Why is it so hard for you to find a boyfriend? I'm like, shut up. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You made me this way. It's all your fault. I can't control my rage, but I'm also overwhelmed by guilt. How could I ever find happiness when my childhood is filled with misery? How could I ever love someone who completely killed my self-esteem? But how could I hate someone who sacrificed so much for me? And most importantly, How could anyone love me when I'm so broken and destroyed? I don't have an answer. I'm afraid I would never have an answer. During the pandemic, I'm just lying in the sofa, trying to figure out reasons to stay alive. Food? No, I live in Germany. Sunshine? No, I live in Germany. Panda? Yes, Panda. I can't die Panda. He must love me. I look at the Panda. He's right next to the sofa. He's looking at me. He's judging me. He's talking to me. I'm so bored. You are not playing with me. You are a horrible mom, just like your own mom. You piece of shit! Okay, I will get your dog friend, then you will judge me less. Is that a deal? Then he start to lick his So I guess it's a yes. So I decided to adopt a dog. I pick him on Instagram like a white woman. I adopt him, I pick him from a shelter in Macedonia. I decide to pick this dog because he's also a black and a white dog. So I can keep the color pattern in the family consistent. I picked him also because he was a puppy found alone on the streets of Macedonia without parents in a dumpster. I want to give him this name, Shifu. In Chinese language, Shifu means master teacher. I want to give him this name so he can teach Panda a lesson about privilege. Like, you don't get to shit on your mama just because you have a German passport. And they delivered the dog. He delivers Shifu directly from Macedonia to my door. And as soon as I saw him, I realized, oh my God, it's a mistake. It's a crazy dog. He pees everywhere. He eats everything he sees. He can't even walk on the floor. He just slides over like a water spider. It's an insane dog. And all I'm thinking is, oh shit, I wish I can send him back in an Amazon box. But Amazon doesn't ship to Macedonia. So I decided I try to make the most out of this situation. So the next morning I decided I'm going to take him on a hike alone in the forest to bond with him. And we are in the forest, we are walking. And I'm tripping on every tree. He's peeing on every leaves. And I just feel like we're bonding. The magic is growing. And suddenly I just feel this cold pain on the top of my stomach. And knowing who I am, immediately I knew it's about time to have some diarrhea. So I walked towards the bush. I found a tree. I tied the leash under the tree. I walked 2 meters away. I put it on my pants. I squat down. A waterfall comes out. I wipe my ass. I put on my pants. I go grab the leash. But it's just a leash. Where's the dog? I start to shout, Shifu, Shifu. Then I realized this dog only had this name for the last 16 hours. There's no way he will answer to the name. My refund. So I start to shout like a mad person. I'm yelling everywhere. I'm searching everywhere. I'm about to lose my voice. Then suddenly I just see this black and white creature in the middle of the woods. And this time I see him. He sees me. We match eyes. And I called him. This time he's happy. He's happy to see me. And I called him, he started to run towards me. As soon as I got to him, I tied the leash onto his neck. And oh, he's so happy. He started to lick my hands with his tiny, tiny brown face. I thought you are a black and white dog. Where's my diarrhea? Oh, fuck! Fuck! He ate my diarrhea this whole disgusting. Oh my God, this is so disgusting. Moni, calm down, deep breath. Keep doing, think on the bright side. The water is half full, think on the bright side. Okay, on the bright side, I don't have to feed him dinner. Oh my God, this is so bad. This is so disgusting, but how could I blame him? He did what he got to do to survive the streets of Macedonia all on his own. As a puppy, he is a survivor. How could I blame him? I can't. And fast forward 1 year later, it's our first anniversary. By this time, he's already my spoiled princess. I love him so much. He's such an amazing dog. He's sweet, he's smart, he's brilliant. Unlike Panda. I love him so much. If I could, I would breastfeed him. But he doesn't like it. You know, he doesn't have a birthday. It's our first anniversary. I just want to make it really special. So I went to a specialty dog food store. I got a homemade, gourmet quality bio dog food. I come home, I put it into a heart-shaped bowl next to his tiny paws, ready to take an Instagram photo, like a white woman. And by this time, he just sneezes around the food. He's like, no. Not my shit. Not your shit? Not your shit? Remember, you eat diarrhea. I spent $20 on this shit. You are eating it no matter what. So I grab a spoon, trying to force the food into his mouth. But by this time, he's already gone. I'm just so angry. I'm like, you eat diarrhea, eating piece of shit. You go back to your own country. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm just so mad. And suddenly, it just came to my mind. I'm like, wait a moment. If this diarrhea eating piece of shit could have transformed into a spoiled princess, all because of my love, if my love could give him the childhood he never had, what about myself? All I need to do is to love, to unconditionally love the little girl inside of me. Then I can give her the childhood she deserves. I'm already a capable woman and I'm financially independent. I can raise my own inner child. And that's the first time in my life I'm finally able to see that the little girl inside of my mom, she was never loved. She was never given care. She was bullied and discriminated against and pushed into motherhood before she figured out life. Her inner child is as scared as mine. And that's the moment I decided I'm going to take her to places she has never been to, try out the experience she could never afford. I'm going to give her all the attention, love, and care as I can afford. I'm going to raise her inner child too. And this happened in 2021. Since that fateful spring afternoon in the middle of that classroom, 20 years has passed. That little girl, that 11 years old girl, has finally found love. Shifu, the stray dog from the streets of Macedonia, he's indeed a master teacher. He told me the most profound lesson about love by eating diarrhea. Thank you, everyone. This is the show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Gan Mian. Try. Wuhan style. Try. Gan Mian. Try. Wuhan style. Try. dry, dry, Wuhan style. Dry, 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 dry.